right, take it away, Cats.
Okay, here we go. So in the top left-hand corner of Xel'Naga Fortress, we have ReIGN and Nori spawning as our teal Protoss player. And his team is up 3-1 over Complexity MVP, but they have their next player, our Ret Terran, down here at the bottom left-hand corner. That is Keen. So Keen picks Xel'Naga Fortress as well, which is a smart decision. This map is very, very good for Terran players. PF the middle expansion here, the pocket expansion, that's what I was looking for, and PF it, and you have pretty much entire map control over the middle, so if you can get to a 3-base situation, it works out extremely well for Terran players.
Yeah, and this map is so small that getting that PF in the middle kind of plays the same way as Xel'Naga Caverns does. Such a small map, and really the middle of the map is right next to those pocket expos, and Terrans usually want to expand towards your opponent. They have a lot of ways to kind of make their structures stronger and have a lot of damage output in that fashion.
Yeah, certainly. So we're going to see what both players have to offer here in a bit, but Nori looked very good in PvP. We'll see if his PvT is up to snuff now, because he certainly has quite the task in front of him, as Keen is, of course, a Codes player. So, all right. So Nori looks like he dropped down his gateway up at the front. We'll see how quickly he decides to throw down his second gas or what sort of build he's going to end up going with. Hard for players to pull off a Forge FE because that is an extremely wide space. If you decide to do it back at home, it's possible, but you leave a lot of opportunities for Terrans to contain and kind of siege up your natural.
Mm-hmm. And we'll see what Nori decides to do with that. We do have Keen opening up with 1 barracks right now. Yes. Pretty popular for Terran players these days to just go ahead and go with 1 barracks expand. Mm-hmm. You might see 2 barracks expand as well, but I don't think so from Tails.
No, he's already...
Excuse me, from Keen.
Yeah, he's already bypassed gas, so he is going to go after a 1 racks fast expand, and that's a little more viable for Terran players rather than some sort of Forge FE for Protoss players, because 1 bunker right here, even though you have quite a space to go ahead and defend, a bunker up at the front actually allows you, with the 7 ranged Marines that are inside, because of the increased range of the bunker, to defend both sides and prevent units from walking through.
And the probe right now is harassing that SCV just a little bit. So I'm surprised that Keen isn't bringing... Oh, yeah, he's got a Marine coming out of that barracks.
But he did let the SCV get killed.
Oh, the SCV did get killed. Okay, so that's a big victory right there for Nori to start the game off, who right now is operating off of another Cybernetics core to add on to that gateway. And Nori, for now, hasn't revealed his hand yet, but a lot of times Protoss players can go ahead and expand. We do have 3 barracks opening up here for Keen.
Whoa, Keen, what are you doing? Okay, Keen actually going 3 racks off of 1 base right now, gasless.
You know what? I've been seeing a lot of Terran players do this lately. A lot of them now are opening with the 3 barracks expand, no gas, and what they do is have a ton of Marines in the beginning, and when they get that expansion down, they push out with about 15 Marines. It's quite a devastating build.
Well, we're going to see if it works, but I mean, a lot of people have been doing the variation of it wherever you go ahead and gasless expand, then throw down 4 racks, and then make an SCV Marine timing after that. But this, all right, we're going to see how well this ends up working out for him, as Nori feeling a little bit bold, but sees the bunker almost finished and backs away for the moment.
Yeah, and the beauty of this is Keen has total disguise, I guess, of this build, because he can prevent the scout with all the Marines he's got going out, and Nori's going to go ahead and get the expansion down. The SCV will time with that, so now Keen can do this build if indeed this is the build he's going for, which is, like I said before, just 3 barracks, expand, and push out with 15 or so Marines. It's really strong. I forgot what Terran players I saw doing this, but a couple of them have been using it to great effect against Protoss.
All right, well, we're going to see how well this ends up working for Keen. Is this is very, very aggressive at the beginning of the game. It looks like these Stalkers are going to try and push their way up, and they will actually be able to walk by this if they want. And if they walk by and they see that there's no expansion there, that's going to be pretty devastating. But no, Nori actually wasting his shields, just trying to do damage to the bunker right away. The expansion is coming up now, but of course it is quite a bit delayed. And here come the Marines and SCVs, and Nori knows that he's got to pull himself back. We'll see if he tries to pick off a couple of Marines as they make their way across the map, but that would require quite a bit of micro.
Yeah, and this is going to be a pretty well-timed push from Keen. Command Center's coming up, Marines beginning to push out. He's got more barracks producing Marines as well. By the time he gets to that natural, he should have at least 15 or so, and he's got so many Marines, the Stalkers can't really fight against him. I love how he trained half of his Marines on those Stalkers. He wants to get rid of these Stalkers so they can't harass his reinforcements, and now he's up inside the natural with quite a large force. A bunker's coming down as well, and Nori off of the 1 gate expand has nothing to deal with this, and this could actually kill off the Nexus.
All Alright, the Stalker making its
Wow.
way down. That Zealot just watching everything develop at the moment. He knows he has to kill the SCV that's building the bunker, but he can't quite do so. One Stalker has gone down. Keen is actually continuing to reinforce. This feels very much like a blast from the past, though, with early Marine timings.
Goes up, Keen is going to take out that natural.
Oh, good play by Inori.
Yeah, very good force field, but there's still vision of the high ground. Those Marines coming to back up the Marines that were trapped. All the trapped Marines will go down, and now Keen gets inside his bunker, and Nori's got nothing to deal with this. He may actually have to wait until that Nexus is barely alive and then push out to try to save it. He's running out of time, though. 2 SCVs come to repair as well. This is going to be really hard for Inori to hold off. He's going to have to use probes to fight as well. Oh, his Nexus is going to go down.
Just going to sacrifice it. Let's actually take a look here. How many gateways does he have up? 4. All right, so he's going to turn over to a 4 gate now. But of course, Keen already has his next base up and running. Orbital Command is finished as well, so he'll be able to double produce his mules for quite a good period of time. Keen going up to his factory as well.
I think Inori might just go with the 4 gate all in now, off of one base. But the ComSat did reveal 2 of them at the very least. I don't know if he saw the other 2 gates in the north.
Take a look at exactly what he saw.
He didn't see the 2 gates
he
up there.
did not.
So I think Inori's just going to try to 4 gate it here and try to end the game. But you know, Keen should be all over this. If he throws up 3 bunkers, I don't see how this 4 gate's going to work. But Inori doesn't really have a choice. You know, he's so far behind now.
There's the Guardian Shield, not picking
God.
off
Can't
the
even
SCVs.
break the bunker!
There it goes down finally.
The sentries!
Yeah,
Oh!
the sentries are taking quite a bit of damage, but they're also dealing out quite a bit.
Wow.
Keen is losing a bunch of supply here. Only a couple of Stalkers are falling, so maybe Inori's going to have the opportunity to rally in a bunch of forces and attack his opponent. He had enough saved up for a Nexus right away, so he will be re-expanding. Let's take a look at the economy. 35 workers to 34, but of course, Keen has his mules coming down as well.
You know what, Cats? I think that was so intelligent of Keen. He wasn't going to get his Marines out of there because Stalkers have so much move speed, so he might as well sacrifice them. And what did he sacrifice them on? The sentries. And without sentries, no force fields can block the bunkers from being repaired. And now Inori's got total, well, actually, Keen's got total dominant of this game, and Inori can't do a damn thing.
All right, and that SCV is actually getting a total scout and does get up there to see the 4 warp gates over in the top right-hand corner of the main, so we'll see how he reacts to that. But so far, he's just moving to a pretty standard 3 racks with reactor starport builds. No, he has no reactor down quite yet on his barracks, instead just producing an extra barracks, which is not a bad choice, because I know there's a lot of players that'll over rely on add-ons and just move into super late game and they're only on a few racks. But we do have a 3rd base actually coming out of Inori.
Taking a Zerg mindset to things now. Hey, I'm behind, I can't really break that front, I might as well just double expand and hope that Keen doesn't attack me.
Well, it's not a bad call. I mean, Keen could very well launch an attack with Combat Shield here in a bit, and that would most likely overwhelm Inori. But if he remains passive and just tries to macro out of this will get Inori back into the game.
Yeah, I think, though, Keen will definitely push out with this timing push. He's already got Medivacs, he's going to have Stim, Concussive Shells, Combat Shields, or actually Stim's already done, Concussive Shells about to finish. With Combat Shields, and this is going to be such a big push. I don't really know if Inori's going to be able to hold it off, considering he's double expanding, trying to tech up. It's going to be very hard.
Well, it really depends on, whether or not he's going to be able to have that Robo Bay up in time with a couple of Colossi. A couple of Colossi change everything, but yeah, Keen's still in a very good spot.
Surprised he didn't make an immortal with that first time with the robotics facility. Anyways, Keen coming out here with a big stim. He's stimming everything up. He could actually catch his entire army. No, he falls back. I don't know if he needed to fall back there, but he's playing it safe rather than sorry.
He got 2 easy kills there and picks off the Observer on top of that. Very annoying for Inori, as now he's a little bit in the dark about what his opponent is doing. So, supplies heavily in Keen's favor at the moment. He is unfortunately supply blocked. That's as good a time for an attack as any. Well, I got to free up supply. Let's just go run all our forces into the opponent. And here he's loading up for a big old drop. If he attacks through the front and pulls forces apart, this could be very good for him.
I think he has enough forces with the forces outside of the Medivacs to actually distract the front door and then drop everything in the main. It looks like he's going to rather drop the main first and then attack the front door. Beautiful play right here from Keen. He's not using the Medivacs to evacuate, though.
Whoa, those force fields are actually really good.
Fields were really good. But if he kills off this Colossus, it might be worth it. Colossus very low, but he doesn't get the kill. And Inori holds incredibly. He makes a beautiful hold.
Not just does he hold, but he goes up by 10 supply as well.
Oh my god.
A little of that was actually just neutralized, but this 3rd base has actually gone undetected and is starting to kick in for Inori, who is now even on economy.
I actually think Inori got himself back in, and if not back in, maybe even a little ahead now.
Yeah.
That was one of the better holds, and maybe Keen just getting a little bit too aggressive there, dropping everything in and forcing himself to kill the Colossus.
Keen is making the right tech choices right now, though. He does have Ghost Academy coming up, and he switched over to Viking production, so he should be able to deal with a pretty strong force of Colossi. Now the real question is, of course, whether or not that Inori is going to full-on make the switch over to Templar and thus Archons. He does have Twilight Council just finishing up, and we'll see what comes out of that here momentarily. Looks like it is going to be Charge.
Yeah, with Twilight...
No, he canceled and then went to Blink.
He's going to go with Blink Stalkers instead of Charge. So Blink Stalkers are better against Vikings, obviously, and that can protect the Colossus from going down to Viking suppressive fire. SCV comes in there and it will get a full scout on that third Nexus. So now Keen knows he is behind and he's got to make something happen. He's producing quite a few ghosts. There we see a billion pings to show the SCV.
Every time we watch a game with a ReIGN member involved,
somebody's always pinging like crazy.
Someone's pinging like crazy.
And it's Frank.
Okay, ReIGN. That's BM.
You know what? I think Keen has a bit of a problem on his hands because Inori's got so many Colossus
Inori
now.
has so many Zealots right now and decided to go over to Blink, but I don't think he's made another Stalker in the last few minutes of this game. I'm actually a little bit shocked.
Yeah, that's a good point. He went for Blink, and he's got so many Zealots out, it's not going to be that efficient.
There's finally more Stalkers. Took a while, though. I mean, because there's enough Vikings that are in the air now, he needs a good amount of Blink Stalkers to be able to deal with that.
And there's a lot of Marauders hitting the field at the same time. Marauders aren't that good against Zealots, so I think Inori's composition, even with the upgrades being a little bit wonky, he should be able to do a good job here. At the very least, he can hold on to the middle of the map, although he's falling back. Keen getting a little bit of position here, and Keen now has the ability to strike the 12 o'clock, and it looks like he's going to do just that. And remember, guys, he can pull out of there pretty easily because there are 2 attack paths.
All right, he's just going to stem up and kill the Nexus. I mean, that's it. And the Nexus does not really have a chance, but will Keen lose his entire army in the process? He's actually able to reposition himself in a pretty good arc there, forcing the rest of the units from Inori down.
I think this is a bad spot for Keen. He did get the Nexus, but it's not the best position. He's got to run away. I don't know why he's fighting here. He could actually run out the right side and use the Medivacs to escape, but he's continuing to fight here. Now his forces are trapped by force fields, and it looks like Inori's going to clean up. Keen continuing to fall back, but Inori's army is too large.
Yeah, certainly. Oh, it looks like he will be able to get himself a Colossus kill. That's no good. But Inori still does have a pretty big supply advantage despite now being back in workers, and I really think he has to counterattack.
Yeah, he has got to counterattack the third right now to go eye for an eye. If he's going to lose a Nexus, then he's got to trade and take off a command center of Keen's, and he knows he's got to do that. He's blinking forward, getting very aggressive here. I hope that he realizes the third is up, and I hope he doesn't try to slam right into the natural. That would not be a good idea because Marauders have come now, and it looks like Keen has got enough reinforcements to push his army back. He will kill the Colossus, and all the forces on the field, as long as he stutters properly, should be able to kite away from him.
Charge lots would have really helped him out right there as well. Surprised that he didn't start the charge upgrade after Blink was done, because he does have the resources to do that.
He didn't kill the third command center either.
No, not at all.
And it looks like he's going to get pushed all the way back. And Nori
is 4 on gas. That's what the thing was for. Anyway.
This is not good. Now the Planetary Fortress is coming up in the third cats.
Yes, it is.
And that's going to be much more difficult to break.
It is. The position of the Planetary down here is a little bit weird. The one in the middle of the map is, of course, a lot better defended, but because the Colossi can actually sit back in little choke points over at that Planetary Fortress. However, King does have to move back at the moment. All of his units are very low. He is still killing quite a few Stalkers, but this medevac cover is starting to die.
Back and forth between these two players, but the thing here is Keen has an extra base. Nori's trying to catch up in economy. It looks like a couple of Marines stemming up to try to pick off that Colossus. That was all for naught. That Colossus had way too much AP. Keen continuing the stem. He's trying to kill that Colossus and a little too aggressive once again to pick off a Colossus. He ended up losing his entire army.
And still no charge on the way. Oh, there it is! Hooray! Woohoo! Charge is coming up now. And this Nexus did just finish up because he is a little bit mineral starved at the moment. Of course, that's going to turn around here in a second. This economy for Nori is going to go up here in just a bit. He's obviously quite a bit far behind at the moment, but with this new saturation, let's see what it hits to.
I think Inori got himself
1100. Yeah.
back in it economically because he was able to buy enough time with all that tug-of-war action in the middle of the map to get a new third Nexus up. And eventually, remember, guys, he lost to 12. And I thought for a second there he was going to be so far behind, there was no way. But he actually bought himself enough time to get the third back up and running. Now, granted, he's behind in 10 supply, but he's in a better position now than he was before when he lost the third.
Certainly, and you know, I gotta say, Keen's still going with pretty good economy right now. He's almost mined out of his
Observer just went
pick
down.
off an observer. Yeah, very nice job. Looks like he is almost mined out of his natural. However, he does have this base down at the bottom right, but he will need to think of taking his pocket expansion pretty soon.
Yeah, I agree with you there.
Because Inori was mining off of that base at the 12 o'clock for a pretty good period of time, and starting a brand new base means he's going to be starved out of this game a lot later if it stays 3 base versus 3 base.
Yeah, Keen is going to have less economy over time, so he's got to think about grabbing another expansion pretty quickly here. Stalkers coming forward. That's a pretty brave bunch of Stalkers, but of course they have blinks so they get away.
4 charges finished. The charge just about to go now.
There it is! Beautiful
All right.
timing. Does he have enough to break this, though? Those charges are getting up in the thick of things. Feedback going down on the medevacs as well, depleting them of energy. That's huge, but it doesn't look like he's got enough to break this. Keen's got too much.
I actually don't know why he just attacked right there. Yeah, Keen has way too much stuff. I think that Inori could have definitely played a nice defensive game for a little while.
No, he won't have energy.
Yeah, and there's still 20 energy left to get. No, I think Inori's dead in the water. I really actually don't understand why he attacked right there.
Yeah, that was not the best of decision making right there. He's now trying to warp in emergency units, but he loses the game with the... I guess he just thought he was way more farther ahead than he actually was.
I suppose. Did he ever get a read down in the bottom right-hand corner base? Yeah, knew that the planetary fortress was there. As it stands, though, Keen takes a game back for ColMVP, and it is now 3-2, heading into game number 6.
수상전